Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Mr. Derek, illustrator of Brudders Books, and today we get to draw a dinosaur. Hey, I hope you guys are excited to follow along with me today. This is what my drawing looks like at the very end. I used a pencil to draw with and colored pencils to color. But remember, you guys can use other materials to color your drawings like crayons, pastels, or even markers. All right, let's get started. All right, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. So let's get started on our dinosaur. I'm really excited for this one. This one's gonna be a lot of fun. So we usually like to start in the middle of our page, but this time I'm gonna start a little bit on the higher end of our page here, just because we're gonna start on the dinosaur head, and then we're gonna work our way down to draw the body, and then I wanna make sure you guys have enough room for the ground here too. So where I want you guys to start is a little bit over here on our right side of our page, on the upper area. And I want you to go ahead and draw like a medium size circle like this. Very lightly, just to get a nice circle shape in there. And we're gonna do some erasing, so it's okay. It doesn't need to be a perfect circle. So once you have one like this, we're gonna do a little bit of a smaller circle right next to it. But we're gonna have it come down just a little bit like here. So we're in a little bit of an angle of our two circles. So we have like a medium size and a small size circle. All right, great job, you guys. And so real quick on our next step, on the back of our little circle, I just want us to put in a line that's gonna be in a bit of an angle going down to about right here. And we're gonna start drawing the neck here. All right, and then I want you guys to take your pencil and follow along just the outside of your first small circle. And as you follow along, I want you to think about almost like, you know, if this is a roller coaster ride, if we're on some tracks, we're going to come down and then we're going to go right back up to the bigger track. So our line's just kind of falling down in between the two circles and then coming right back up. So you're just kind of following along these two shapes here. And then just continue your outline going around our circle shape to about halfway here. So we're starting to really draw out our dinosaur head and neck. Is this cool? It's a cool way of doing it. I like this way. And then from our halfway point here, I just want to draw another angle line. And we're going to go probably just about this far. So almost about where our two circles met. So you have a little bit of room for our neck here. And just to show that, go ahead and draw the same angle like we did here. We're going to draw just a little one coming off about right here. That way you guys can see what we're drawing here. So this is great. We have our head, we have a little bit of our neck. And then you guys can go ahead and erase that inner circle. You guys don't need that anymore. That was just going to help us draw our dinosaur head really nice. So it's fun to break it up in shapes like that. We might as well start on the face. This is going to be fun. So for our dinosaur smile, I'm going to start my line about right here in the front. And we're going to curve a nice smile shape. And we're going to go just past this neck. So when I curve, you guys can always watch me do it first. We're going to curve down. It's a nice line. And we're going to come back up. I'm going to make sure I go right past my neckline here and stop. So nice smile. And then we want to give them like a little dimpled cheek. So I'm going to just do a nice curve shape at the end of our line here like this. So we really see that nice smile on our dinosaur. And then I always like adding little teeth in there, but I'll just add one this time. So we're going to add just like a big tooth popping out of our smile, kind of coming up and back again. You can make yours bigger or smaller. You can add a couple in, but I'm going to just do one today. Almost like he has an overbite or something. All right, let's add in a really nice eye too. So I'm going to just do like an oval dot. It'll make him look like a sweet little dinosaur. You can add in a different eye if you like drawing eyes with your characters a certain way. I'm going to just do this one, a nice little dot circle, and then I'm going to color that in. So it's just like an oval. We just color that in right there. So we have a nice eye, we got a smile, got a tooth hanging out. And then, oh yeah, let's go ahead and put in some nostrils. And those are going to just be up here, little slants or they could be two little dots, and those are going to be the two nostrils in the front. All right, you guys are doing great. I love this. So let's go ahead and start working on the backside and then the body. So from this area here, we're going to do the backside of our dinosaur, and we're going to go in an angle. So I'm going to draw a line going down in an angle to about right here. And then I'm going to continue going up and around to draw in his tail. So from here, we're going to do a nice curve shape, just coming up about this high. And then we're going to curve back around like this. And then just continue to curve that shape. And we're going to go all the way back around to about where we started on our tail. So about right here, you can stop. I'm going to come back around and stop right there. And then go ahead, and we're going to draw the bottom of our dinosaur. We're going to draw a straight line, or as straight as we can. We're going to come right through, and I'm going to make it extra long just so I can erase a little bit later. So just a nice long line like this. And you'll know what I mean by that here on the next step. So once you have that in, from where we started on our neck, I want you guys to start drawing in the belly, and then we're just going to cross into this line here at some point. So I want to give him a good sized belly. Maybe he ate a lot of plants and he's really full. I'm going to just curve out my shape into our line and fall into the straight line right here somewhere. So you can just fall into your straight line anywhere. It doesn't need to come all the way out to this point. Wherever you want to curve in and stop. And then whatever you have left over hanging out, since I have this here, I'm just going to erase this part. Let's go ahead and draw the first foot that's in the front. So our dinosaur is walking. So you want to make sure it kind of looks like he's in mid-stride of our walk. So I am going to start right below here. So kind of in between where our curve shape started and our line kind of went straight. You can start around that area. And I want to just draw a diagonal line coming down like this, about that far. And then for the bottom of this foot, I'm going to curve up in this angle about right here. A nice curve shape. And then we're going to just curve up just a little bit. So this is almost like his toes. Just a nice little curve coming up. And then for the rest of his leg, we are going to just do a nice curve shape coming up past his belly, and then we'll come up just a little bit up here like that. So that was an easy leg, yeah? And then go ahead and erase just that inner line that your leg drew over. All right, so let's start on our back leg. So this leg's going to be more on the ground, but where we're going to start is right in this corner where his front leg came out from his body. And I want you to draw an angle line going the opposite direction, but not as long as this one, maybe half the distance, about right there. And then for his toes, just as we did this shape, we're going to curve down to a ground. We'll draw the ground in here next. And then just like we did our bottom feet here, however long we did this line, we'll try to match for this one. So a nice curved shape coming down. And then for his back leg, we're just going to come up to this line. We're not going to go past it because we're going to make sure it looks like it's on the other side of his body. So we're going to do a nice curved shape coming up and then stopping right at that bottom part of his line. All right, and then for his toes, just think of the letter M. So we're going to come down here, and I'm going to draw the letter M. So it looks like his toenails. Isn't that fun? And then we're going to do the same one for over here. So another M here. So 1, 2 little lines. Okay, and then we need his arms. We got to get the T-Rex's arms. So most of their arms sometimes kind of dangle down a little bit. So we want to try to mimic that in our drawing. So I'm going to start over here by his belly. And you guys can follow along with me. I want to draw an angle line that comes down just a little bit like this. And then I'm going to curve around almost like it's his fingers together. So just like a little curve line that comes up. And then we're going to just come back to the belly here. It's cute. And then we're going to do this exact same shape, but a little bit more over here on his body. So let's start at the top again. We'll start over here. And we want to make sure we just stay a little bit clear of his belly. So we're going to start back here. And I'm going to do that same curve shape, just coming down, just a little one. Just like that. And I'm going to curve around. Again, just same shape. And then come back the same distance. So now he has his two arms as he's walking by. From your smile, you can start to draw a line coming down, just like this. And then you're going to just follow along the same line you did with your belly. So as your belly starts to turn, I want you to start turning this line as well. And this will be a lot of fun. So when we color our dinosaur, or you can shade it with your pencil, you can have like the belly be a little bit lighter and then maybe the skin tone of your dinosaur to be a little bit darker. Be really cool to add those two colors in there. This came out great. And then the last thing, I just want to add something kind of cool. I want to add in some bony plates. I think that'd be fun just to add on to this. So little bony plates are going to be these little half circles. So I'm going to start at the back of his head. And from the back of his head, I'll start to make them just each a little bit bigger. And again, they're just little half circle shapes. And then when he gets to his back, maybe they're at its biggest. And then as I come down to the tail, I want to start making them a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. And then a little tiny one at the end. All right, and let's just put a little ground in, just so it looks like our dinosaur is not floating in the air. So from the bottom of his foot, this is where he's standing and holding all his weight. You guys can just add a little line coming from this way and then coming over this way. All right, guys, we did it. We finished our dinosaur. This thing came out so cool. I actually think it looks like a baby T-Rex. But you guys can add anything you want. You can add little wings to it. It could be your very own dinosaur. It's whatever you want to come up with in your imagination. And the best part coming up that I always love doing is color. But before we color it, I want to add a couple things in my drawing just to give it a little bit more of a scene. Like maybe it's walking through a prehistoric jungle. I might even add some palm trees. Ooh, I might even add a volcano too. So don't forget, we're gonna fast forward this part. But remember, you can always pause the video and take time to finish your coloring and your drawing. Yes, guys, we did it. We finished drawing and coloring our dinosaur. This thing came out awesome. I love that I got to add all the extra background details. It really tells a story now with our character. It's not just walking anywhere, it's walking in a prehistoric land. And I got to add the volcano kind of exploding with lava, some big bones are hanging around, and even a little coconut falling from the tree. Now remember, you guys can pause this video right now to match the same coloring like I did, or you guys can color any way you like. But I always encourage you to add in some background details and create your own world that your character can live in. Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast drawing with you guys as always. I can't wait to put out the next video, and thank you guys for always watching and subscribing. It really means a lot to me. So looking forward to see you guys on the next one. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.